How to recognize a narcissist faking empathy. Fake empaths and empathy. Therefore, it makes sense why narcissists so frequently pose as exclusive, empathic or highly sensitive individuals when, in reality, they frequently actually think this about themselves. Watch this video to learn more about why this is the case and how to distinguish a narcissist from an empath or a highly sensitive person. So today, we are discussing the relationship between empaths and narcissists as well as the subject of conversation between these two types of people. Usually, this is the reason they wind up together in the same relationship so frequently, but today we are going to look at it from a slightly different perspective. Today, we will examine why narcissists frequently claim to be or pose as empaths or highly empathic individuals. There are a few explanations that, once you have a basic understanding of narcissism, make perfect sense. We will review that and then discuss how to tell the difference between a narcissist and an empath, which is not always as simple as you might think. Okay, so first off, how could a narcissist possibly believe they are empaths, or why would they want to pretend to be one, even if they know they are not? So I did a little research and I came up with 3 reasons that make perfect sense. Unaware of their narcissism. Narcissists are aware that they are not truly like other people, which is the first reason. Nobody really wants to think, well, some people do, that they are a narcissist, especially the covert type, so they are likely to try to figure out what's wrong with them in order to maintain their identity. They might cling to a different group that doesn't necessarily fit the norm. People who identify as empaths and those who have a high level of empathy can strongly relate to being able to identify and carry other people's emotions and feelings. Especially if you don't have strong boundaries. You may or may not even be aware that the emotions you are carrying around is someone else. Being an empath is not always a good thing, although many people present it that way, and it certainly can be beneficial, but it does make sense that someone who feels differently from other people might be irritable or in a bad mood as a result of something that happened to someone else. They are likely aware that empathy is what distinguishes them from other people in the greatest measure. People might prefer to describe themselves as empaths as opposed to narcissists. Therefore, there is another very well-known reason why a narcissist might describe themselves as an empath. They enjoy stirring up trouble. You know, they tend to be the kind of individuals who will claim they don't like drama or don't want to be around drama, but drama follows them everywhere they go. As a result, they create all the drama, but when asked to deal with other people's emotion, they can put up a wall and claim that they are too sensitive to handle the situation or that the sadness or pain is too much for them to bear. It kind of gives them an out because they can say they are just shutting down from the overload rather than actually not caring about other people's feelings. The third reason narcissists frequently identify as empaths is that they have to be the most. They have to be the most, everything, best, and biggest. They will therefore have the greatest amount of empathy you can possibly imagine, if they do have empathy at all. As a result, they will describe themselves as empaths, which brings up a point that many of you have brought up in the comments, and I completely understand it. So, some people have said that anyone who identifies as an empath is actually a narcissist, and while I don't think that's true, I can see where it comes from, because the person who would have made that comment has probably met a narcissist who is passing themselves off as an empath. And it also makes sense on the level that, I am more than you. Therefore, when you say that I am more empathic than you are, it kind of gives the impression that you know I'm better than you or that I'm more empathic than you. However, in reality, as I have already mentioned, I don't think being an empath is always a good thing or that it's necessarily something to brag about. It's for those who do experience strong empathetic feelings but find it difficult to carry those emotions with them. I believe that some of those people may have gained an understanding of what is happening and how to address, correct, and set their own boundaries as a result of the label. In order for them to be more resilient and to ensure that they are carrying their own emotion. But the term empath isn't really defined all that clearly. You are aware that the term empath lacks a precise definition. The term is used by many people and they do so in various ways. I don't use it very often because it can be hard to tell. I do use the term empath, but not as frequently as some others do because I believe it leads to a lot of confusion. However, the point I'm trying to make here is that it does make sense for some narcissists to claim to be the most empathic people on the planet if they are going to pretend to have empathy, which they all do. Okay, so how can you tell if someone is a narcissist or an empath when you meet them? As I mentioned in the comments, there are some people who believe that anyone who claims to be an empath is actually a narcissist. Again, I don't think that's true, and I think it does stem from a misinterpretation or misuse of the term. Though it's not necessarily the fault of any one person, I believe that there is a lot of misunderstanding about what the term means and that different people have different interpretation of what it means. As a result, I have carried around a lot of other people's feelings throughout my life, especially in the past. So if you are getting into a relationship with someone who claims to be highly sensitive or empathetic and you already know this, or you are just getting to know them and you are unsure if those behaviors indicate the person is a narcissist or if there are other possible explanations, they are making you wonder. You can try a few different things to see that there isn't a simple solution and to sort of the test the waters. There are some ways that narcissists behave that highly sensitive or highly empathetic people do, but it's not a quick fix. Setting boundaries and adhering to them is the first thing you can do. The boundaries you set will be completely ignored if you are dealing with a true narcissist. All of them will be in your area. Most notably, narcissists dislike being told what to do and being told no. Therefore, they will push you until you give in if your boundaries conflict with what they want, versus someone who is acutely sensitive to the emotion of others. It's not that they won't want to get what they want. We all occasionally want to get our way, but they won't push you to the point where you feel uncomfortable because someone who is truly sensitive to another person's feelings will notice that they are uncomfortable making you feel. Moreover, if they are not narcissists, they will be aware of the discomfort they are causing you and will most likely stop. The second piece of advice is to monitor the progress of the relationship. In my videos on love bombing, I went into great detail about this. Because narcissists have trouble postponing pleasure, they will always seek out immediate gratification. So if you feel that this person is making a lot of effort to get close to you and it feels forced, you should check how things are going. The third piece of advice is to observe how they respond to adversity. In my opinion, this is the most telling. You may be dealing with a narcissist if someone is always the victim. If they are quick to the point, the finger at others when something bad happens, or if they see you struggling with something, even if it's minor, but don't offer to help because that's not who they are.